strength and fun.
Très encourageant pour toute l'équipe de la régie des installations olympiques. Encouraging indeed, because we were told that Emerson, Lake and Palmer decided to launch their 12th long-playing record here at the Olympic Park because their performance of 1977 in our stadium remains in their memory one of the best events they enjoyed in their career. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us today. Un tel témoignage
C'est un plaisir d'annoncer aujourd'hui que Emerson Lake and Palmer qui ont pour de Montréal le 16 août et les billets le 7 août. Et les billets commencent à prévendre le lundi matin à tous les billets, billetterie admission. Emerson Lake and Palmer. Any questions? I'll give you another one.
Why this place today is since you play at the forum in August? Why this place today since you play at the forum in August?
Because we come back to see the stadium, which is a part of our history, where we launched Band The Common Man. We played one of the most emotional shows of our career here with the orchestra, the symphony orchestra. That's a very special place for us to launch this return and our new album, Black Moon.
It's also a city where we lived collectively as a band for about 5 months, so it's not only the stadium, it's the city that's also a very big favourite of ours.
You repeated there was snow yes, in the stadium that time.
There certainly was snow, yes, it was very cold. I remember when we made that video, we had to shoot it in very small sections because it was so cold that we could only play for maybe 30 seconds at a time. And then we had to run into this trailer and dip our hands into some hot water to stop our hands from freezing. But it was a world-famous video, and that video has been seen everywhere around the world. So we feel good that it's brought Montreal to the rest of the world as well as Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Just another thing to point out here, the video we made here marked the beginning of videos because that was one of the very first. One of the very first.
Are you going to show it at the forum, this video?
Sorry?
Are you going to show it at the forum before you show?
No, we won't be showing any videos at the forum, but we'll be playing live at the forum, which is even better.
You might see the new video a bit later on, actually.
Are you going to come back to play here at the stadium?
As soon as you get the roof fixed, we're coming in.
After being apart for so many years, it's difficult for the three of you to get in tune with each other's musical ideology and thought course of the band for the 90s?
No, it wasn't. How this happened was that an old friend of ours, a man named Phil Carson, has just started a new record label called Victory Records. And he invited us to do a film score. And we agreed to do it and started to make the music for the film score. He started to write the music for it. Well, after 3 or 4 weeks, we had so much material, we'd written so much material, that when he heard it, he said, listen, you know, you really should make an album from this. And I suppose by the time we really realised we were making this record, that more than half the material was already written for it. So it was an album that happened naturally. There was a lot of spontaneity. And I think in that way it's similar to the early records of the LP. And having made the album, we were very proud of it and very happy with it, and it was a very easy album to make. We just felt that we wanted to go out and and play the concerts.
Is there an actual soundtrack that Phil Carson approached you with?
We never got to, the whole concept of the soundtrack got shelved, and to this day we don't know what the film would have been, but maybe we'll do one later.
It was quite an exciting time when we first started playing, you know, after all that period of time off. And it wasn't as if there was any learning process, getting to know each other again. We just walked into the room and the creativity started. So it seemed pointless looking at a film score. Though it's something that we never did as a band and we've always wanted to do, it seemed pointless carrying on with that because we had some great songs coming along. So it's very natural.
I agree with Greg 100% that this is undoubtedly one of the band's finest efforts. It's a tremendous record. I think it's a great album for the 90s, and it shows the distance that Emerson, Lake and Palmer music has traveled throughout the years, and that you still have what it takes to be in modern day rock. You have lots of touch.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Do you want the money now?
Sharpening knives. Oh gosh. I don't know. You have to see the show after that. That's the reason why Carl has gongs, actually, just in case I get the knives out. Because he doesn't play them; they're just used for protection.
And do you plan to sit together?
For the rest of the day, yes. Yeah, we have various things that we're already concentrating on. There's a documentary that's being put together. We're going to film this tour. We'll record this tour in various locations throughout Europe and throughout maybe Canada, who knows. There are plans for a further studio album. There's material. And I think right now Atlantic are putting together a CD set called The Atlantic Years of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So there's quite a lot of productivity to come. Only like, you know, nothing, you know.
In restaurants.
Is Cafe au lait any good?
Like some coffee?
Oui. Thank you. So,
Any more questions?
yes, next. You could just stop eating for a while and join in with the fun.
The flying piano, that's going to be used in later things. I don't think it'll be used in this present production. We've got quite an impressive setup as it is at the moment, without using that just at the moment. There's a few surprises. We'll be using quadraphonic sound, so that will mainly help with the acoustics and effects like that. The stage design has been designed by Patrick Woodruff, who's been responsible for set designs by the Pink Floyd, people like that.
On this new tour, we're going to be playing music from all the past albums, and of course from Black Moon. So there'll be something from all our records. One of the interesting things is we've just come from London. We're in the middle of rehearsals now, and one of the stimulating things about playing the older material is that now with all the new technology, something like pictures at an exhibition, for instance, is an incredible sound. I mean, whereas perhaps when we played before in the 70s, it would be done with organ and maybe one synthesizer. Now there's maybe 20 synthesizers running at the same time. It's a phenomenal sound. So for us, it's not just a walk down memory lane. It really is something that we find exciting.
Listening to the new album Black Moon, there seems to be far less jazz influences than in the past in the LP albums in the 70s. Was this a conscious effort on the part of the band and Mark Machina to go in the direction of modern day progressive rock as opposed to having jazz elements, as in Brain Salad Surgery?
Well, I think with the earlier ELP albums, I think the only real references to jazz were possibly with Honky Tonk Train Blues. I don't know if we...
Take a pebble.
Take a pebble, yes, I think it was actually a bit sort of jazzy. But,
Second impression.
I mean, in this record, we haven't really approached it from a sort of format standpoint. the music that's on this album is the music that we wrote. You know, we never really stopped to consider whether it had elements that we had in the past. Also, you know, we've had people comment and say, oh, you know, Black Moon is like Trilogy, or Affairs of the Heart is like Lucky Men, but really what we are is Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and so the music we make has a style, and we don't think very much about it. I mean, we make music essentially for live concert. The records for us are almost a byproduct. I mean, that's why a lot of our music is 7-10 minutes long. We don't try and approach it from a sort of commercial record standpoint.
If you refer to jazz as being improvisational, then there's a lot of improvisation in some of the solos on this album, particularly in the Prokofiev piece, which is like making sort of improvisations around Prokofiev's chord sequence. I mean, also in Black Moon, there's a slight edge there of improvisation from the Hammond organ.
I've noticed also that there aren't any credits to the Kurzweil company as opposed to in '86 where you were using mainly Kurzweil on the tour. You were using mainly the Korg, the Hammond, the Steinway piano, and you have the GX1 back. Was this decision, based mainly on because of the sound you wanted for the future of the band in the '90s? To go without Kurzweil?
Well, we just didn't use Kurzweil on this album. We've been very lucky with the Korg company. But I think basically this album shows up analog and digital synthesizers. I mean, my keyboard setup has everything from the first Moog synthesizer that was built to the Hammond, to the real piano, to like digital synthesizers and FM synthesis and MIDI. All that's incorporated into it all. We're all making use of this technology, even Carl.
And it's changing all the time, I don't think you can afford to lock yourself into any one series of instruments, whether you be a keyboard player, guitar player, drum, or whatever. I mean, things do change, so one has to keep looking forward. And that was the general outlook we had as a band when we looked at making an album. We wanted the best of all instruments, whether we'd used them before or not. And certain things from the past we did bring into the future, such as the Hammond organ. We wanted to get the best sound ever. Some Moog sounds we wanted to bring into the 90s. So it's a case of just keeping up with technology, but remembering what the past was too, And the blend is very important.
Are you still using the Dynacord? Because I noticed some electronic drums on the new album as well.
I don't actually use a Dynacord anymore. I use the Akai SE1100, and I've sampled most of my own sounds. And I trigger them from the drum set using the DMP7, the Yamaha desk, as my source.
Il y a des autres questions?
I'd like to know, touring must be very exhausting and as an aging group, but I'd like to know if you have a secret to be in shape while you tour. What do you do to stay in good shape, work?
We worry a lot. Music is a very physical thing, and playing live concerts is in fact, tremendously physically demanding in and of itself. I mean, you can become extremely fit just simply by playing music. Sounds a strange thing to say, but 2 hours every night of playing live concerts is very demanding. But we're well rehearsed, and it's part of the way we work, to prepare ourselves for these things. Most of us do something or other to stay fit, but just the very nature of playing the music and playing 2 hours non-stop keeps you on your toes, I can promise you.
I think you have to realise that the older you get, you do learn how to pace yourself, not only through the day, but through a show and things. So it's not, there's no real sort of trick or secret here. I mean, it's the same for everyone,
Merci. Le 5 août, l'Agora à Québec, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Le pré-vente commence à Québec lundi aussi. Les billets Unitic. Et aussi à Montréal, le 7 août, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Forum de Montréal. Et le pré-vente va commencer lundi à 10h à tous les billets, toutes les admissions. Merci à tous. Emerson, Lake and Palmer va rester. Anne-Marie de Polygram. And we'd like to thank Keith, Greg, and Carl for joining us here in Montreal and using Montreal and the great memories in Montreal is the launching pad for the new album and the new tour. Merci bien.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.